with the crazy eyelashes, blonde, long hair, and I was just like, bombshell, you know?
Yes! Yo, welcome back, man, to Deep in the Bag podcast. And I got a special guest here today, man. We got Kat in the building. Y'all make some noise.
Let's go! Woo! Hey.
Hey, as y'all already see, it's on to be turned up today, man. First, Kat, how you feeling today?
I am feeling great. How about you?
I am feeling amazing, man. Let me tell y'all, listen, we always talk about you always got to build a community of just high frequency individuals, and Kat is someone who is a part of my community. So I can't wait till she share her story today and just let all of y'all know the in-depth details going on through her mind. You feel me? So let's get right into it. Kat, we always like to start the show off just saying, where did we meet? So where did we meet at, Kat?
We met in class. We're like the same person, just different genders.
But nah, like for real, y'all in class, man. We instantly, like, as soon as I met her, I was like, oh man, she got a huge personality. You feel me? But I think she was trying to keep it under wraps. But y'all already know, I told y'all my energy, man. It just understands everything. And I was like, bet I gotta get to know Kat. We rapped a couple of times, and I was like, yo, we are literally on the same wavelength. So I think we actually both Tauruses too.
We are.
Same.
That's why we're the same person.
No, but listen. So hey, and then what I tell y'all, when you meet people who you vibe with, like, always make sure you put that energy and effort to try to build that connection, because it could definitely be life changing. You feel me? But let's get right into it. So, Kat, where are you from? I
am from the Yay area.
Hey, just so y'all know I used to live in the Bay. That joke was miserable. But hey, I'm happy that Kat lived there. So how was it growing up in the Bay, though? How was it growing up in the Bay?
I feel like I loved the Bay, but I didn't realize that I was such a creative person until I was older. And the Bay Area, just because it's such tech focused, it made me feel like I was in such a box and I was limiting myself a little bit. Or I guess other people would judge you on things or on the profession that you're doing if it's not tech related or something quote unquote like regular.
I 100% agree. Let me tell y'all. So when I was living in the Bay, I was trying to pump out these YouTube videos, right? And I lived right at Lake Merritt, and legit used to walk around the lake with my camera out, ask people like, hey, would you like to be on camera? Man, so many people like, no, I'm good today. I was like, damn, is it me? Then I started realizing, like, no, it's just so like 9 to 5, get off work and kind of just chill. That creative side just isn't as strong. It exists, but it's just not thriving in a place like how it is here in LA, which clearly y'all know we at right now. But okay, so thinking of that though, so understanding you from a tech spot, like living in a place like the Bay where you got this creative nature. How was it like growing up in your household? Because I would think like in like the Asian community, that's actually the way you want to go. Like there's a certain profession or a certain way you should move with certain things. So like give us some ideas about that.
Yeah. So I feel like in general, in an Asian household, your parents always want you to go be a lawyer, be a doctor, go to school. Because my parents didn't have that when they came over. They didn't finish school. I think the highest that they went was high school.
Okay.
High school. And so I'm an only child. So they put a lot of pressure onto me to be the successor of the family. And I did go to college. I originally planned to become a dentist.
Okay.
And I got a degree in biopsych.
Okay.
Cool. Not doing anything with that, but it's fine. But I made my parents happy. And after I graduated, I still had like this feeling inside of me where it felt like it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Like I was okay with doing it, and I went to school for it, and I did everything. And then when I graduated, I was just like, do I want to do this?
Yes, like what's next?
Yeah, it was still pulling at me. Like before I wanted to apply to grad school, that's when I was like, let me try doing modeling and see how that's like.
Okay, yeah. So was modeling something that's always been in your mind, or did you see something on TV one day, a magazine, social media, is it this big now? Like, why modeling?
I think it's more. I watch a lot of America's Next Top Model
Okay,
when I was
so-
younger, and I didn't see Asian people in ads often. And I didn't even think that this was going to be a career that I could even get into because I never really saw Asian people in advertisements.
Okay.
And I think I had that feeling that I wanted to do it, but it wasn't a plausible career, I guess.
No, that 100% makes sense. I mean, me, first of all, coming from Washington, D.C., where there aren't, let's just keep it up. There's no models, actors, musicians. People could say they're trying to chase after it, but it's just not to the same level as it is here. So I think like you even saying it out loud, I know how it was in the Bay too. Might have came off like it. So how was it though when you went to your parents? You're like, hey, so you all know I'm not going to grad school. I'm about to go try to become a model. Like how was that conversation hard? Was tough? Was they just in agreement? How did that go?
It was kind of weird. Okay, so my parents have a lot of trust in me. I think they know that I knew how to take care of myself. I graduated and then so there was a year that I took off of school and in that time I started influencing.
Okay.
So I started my Instagram and then I wouldn't say I took off, but I was doing a lot of influencing and getting free stuff and whatever, like doing a lot of these ads. And then my parents, when I said that I was going to do modeling, they're like, are you even going to make money? They didn't exactly yell at me, but I could tell that they were feeling some type of way about it. They were like, you're not going to make any money, and kind of was putting me down a little bit with like, this is not a career. Like, this is not a real career. And that was the mindset I had when I was in the Bay Area, where I was almost ashamed of saying that I was a model because it didn't feel like a real job.
So with you at that particular point in time, not having like a way to express to them just how deep modeling could go, but them having that undeniable faith in you, did you like let them know you needed to leave to come to LA to make it happen? Or like, I guess, how did that go?
I kind of knew even before I graduated that I was going to be a SoCal person. I really wanted to move to SoCal. I felt like it was calling me, and I knew no matter what I was going to do, I was going to move to SoCal regardless. But before I applied to grad school, I was like, okay, let me apply to some modeling agencies to see if I can even get signed.
Oh, proactive.
And then, yeah, and I submitted myself. I got signed. I came down to LA. I was still living in the Bay right now. And then I came down to LA. I got signed to my current modeling agency. And then a week later, I was like, I'm going to move down to LA. This
Just like
is the
that.
sign. Yeah. And I didn't really have a plan. Okay, so to be fair, in the beginning of modeling, you would think that, oh, okay, all I have to do is get 3 jobs a week and I'm chilling. Like, I'll be living. I didn't realize that you have to audition for these jobs. It's not a
you know I didn't
guarantee.
either.
Yeah. So I moved down I even told my boyfriend, now husband at the time.
Shout out.
Shout out to Nathan. At that time, I told him, I was like, I'm going to move down to LA. He was the one that encouraged me to actually submit myself to modeling agencies, by the way. But I told him, I was like, I'm going to move down to LA, and if you want to move down with me, I would love for you to move down with me. But even if you're not, I'm going to go anyways.
Oh, so you were
I was
ready.
set. Like, I was just like, I think this is what I need to try this before I
become a dentist. The rest of your days.
become a dentist, because I feel like this is my way out to the feeling that was pulling me from completing dentistry. I was like, I think this is it. I didn't per se think like I'm going to be like the greatest model in the world or something like that.
Okay.
But it was something in the creative field where I just felt it had to do with art, and I just wanted to try it out to see how it was like.
You know something I realize you keep saying it. So before we start deep diving into your modeling, you've mentioned the word creative quite a few times. When did you know you were a creative person? Like, when did this artistry side come to be? I feel like it was always in your soul.
I think it was. I even when I was younger, I was so good at doing like arts and craft. That sounds like so lame that I'm just doing arts and crafts. But when I say arts and craft, like I was learning how to sew and like crocheting with like my grandma since I was like 5 or 7 or
All right.
something, like super young. And I was just very down to do all these artsy stuff, and it came very easy to me.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Okay, so now we get to LA. Husband comes. Nathan's here with you too.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like it kicked off at first? Was you getting the 3 jobs a week and life was all good and great and gravy?
No, it was not. But I do gotta say that I was really lucky that I was able to live off of just modeling.
Okay.
So maybe it wasn't 3 jobs a week, but it ramped up pretty quick. And I think, I don't know if it has to do with work ethic or
Okay.
even the time that I came in. I'm also very glad that I didn't join modeling. Like, I joined after I finished school,
Okay.
which was a great time for me because Asians started to become in, if that makes sense.
Okay, give me some context. Give me some
Like,
context.
I wasn't even thinking about acting yet, but with modeling, they started to become okay. Like, I have blonde hair, and usually when there's Asians in the industry, they want you to look as oriental as possible. So with the black hair, like, they want to make sure you look Asian. But I already had blonde hair, so I was kind of not the usual like type for an Asian.
Okay, is there a name for like what you would be called in like the Asian?
Well, before I cut my hair, I had long hair, and I was looking ABG, Asian baby girl, if y'all didn't know what that was, with the crazy eyelashes, blonde, long hair, and I was just like, bombshell, you know?
Yes.
Okay, that was a little much.
Okay, so you were ABG, Asian
Yeah.
baby girl,
Uh-huh.
and then so wait, okay, hold on. So now before we move forward, are you still in the category of ABG?
No, I'm not. I feel like I am edgy Asian. I don't know.
Actually, I like that.
It's
Actually,
Asian.
I do agree to that.
Yeah.
Agree to that. You are the more edgy style, like streetwear kind of look, right? Okay, yeah, that's funny as hell. All right, so we got here. You're able to take care of yourself based on modeling.
Yeah.
Confidence, was it always there, or do you feel like it came from somewhere else? Like how'd you get to this place to where you like got this big personality, you got all this confidence? Like what happened?
I actually feel like I am a very insecure person,
Okay.
but it's something that, okay, so when I think about it, when I'm on a shoot, when people look at me when I'm doing on a shoot, like I can be talking to you and be like, oh, hey, like, you know, and then the moment I know that the camera is on, it's like I switch into work mode and I work in front of the camera and I'll be like, oh, click, oh, hey, you know,
Yes,
like, and it's crazy. I guess it would be kind of like an alter ego,
Okay.
but it is like an alter ego, but I go into work mode, and I guess I would say that is my confidence of what I think confidence for me is being okay to let my actual self come out.
Okay, so actual self. What does that mean?
Normally, I think I shy away from people easily.
Okay.
And if I'm comfortable enough, I consider myself a very weird individual, which I
We're all
embrace. Weird. I love it.
Yes.
It's fine. But there was a time where I thought my personality was a lot.
So you all know another thing about Kat. We haven't even dived into this. She is hella deep on loving herself too. You feel me? Like high value and everything else. But like, do you see yourself getting to a place where you don't need an alter ego in the future? Is that something you feel like you're working towards, or does it just work for you?
I do think that I am working towards that. That's why even when I say alter ego, I don't necessarily make myself into another person per se, but I go into, it's like when you have to be around people and you have to like
Code
turn
switch?
on,
Okay.
I guess. So that's how I put it. I wouldn't say that I changed myself, but I have been working towards being able to let my personality shine through. Because I do think when it comes to a big group,
Okay.
I'm very like, oh, hi, my name's Kat, and yeah. But you know what? Brian saw through that, and he came up to me, and I was just like, oh, thank God you came up to me first. Jesus.
That is why y'all gotta bring the best out of people. You feel me? Now, going from, so let's dive a little bit into the mind. Okay. So now with you, because you had the upbringing of having to like pivot away from what was traditional like Asian household norms and careers,
Yes.
to now stepping into an industry that you didn't feel like you saw a lot of like Asian women in there. You wanted to definitely like shine there, to the confidence, to shifting up and having that alter ego as soon as the camera come on. Like, what was the first step in loving yourself?
The first step to loving myself was being okay to be on my own, I guess. I think I'm a very stubborn individual. So when I have a stance on something, I will die on that hill. I feel like I have a very strong personality. So I don't know. With loving myself, I don't even know where the first step is. I feel like I had to experience a lot of bad shit, I guess I would say, in order to train my mind, or not train my mind, to morph it to what it's become today. Like,
Okay.
I knew I was always a strong person, but I had some wavering moments, and it took me one time to experience in a bad relationship, also a bad relationship with a friend, where it changed how I view my time with other people and the time I put for myself.
I love how you mentioned that like those bad experiences definitely changed your outlook on things, because those obstacles we go through in life, you know what they say? Always say that like when everything's going good, it's easy to be happy and smile and
Yep.
everything. And as soon as you run into the bad, like that's when the real you comes out. Because now you need to figure out like who are you as a person and how do you stand? How you stand on that hill to your stubbornness. It's like,
Yeah.
can you still stand on that hill when those bad times come too? And it sounds like you wavered it.
I wavered it a couple times.
All right.
But I think I actually know why I'm so. Okay, so what I realize is I am an only child, and I don't know if it's because of the way I was brought up, but I always depended on myself only. And I never even asked my parents for help. It was something, I think it was like even to myself, that I wanted to prove to even myself that I could do everything on my own, which made me become very strong, which I loved, but it almost made me get this habit of not relying on other people, which is like a good or bad thing. Like,
That's me, by the way.
like, we're trying to build this community, like we're such self-sufficient people, like me and you, that we want to do everything on our own. And like, I feel like a good scenario would be like, I wanted to come down here and move down here, and my parents were like, what the hell are you doing, blah 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 blah, but I still did it anyways, because I was just like, I need to prove to them that it's gonna work out.
Yes.
Like, even I don't know it's gonna work out, I'm gonna do it because it's just something that's calling me, and how else am I gonna find out if I don't fucking do it?
Literally no risk, no reward, y'all. Like, remember that, man. The people gonna doubt you. People like not gonna see how it's possible, but you gotta like create that lane to show them like what's actually possible within you. So now for the modeling front, what advice would you give to someone who, don't know if they belong in the field, but of course they're not your journey, they're not walking your walk of life, but look, what advice you give to somebody looking to become a model?
Do it.
I love it though. Right to the point.
Yes, because I would use an example of myself as I thought I wasn't body ready, or what I thought was what a model was supposed to look like. So I was just like, okay, like let me just work out and make sure like I get my body to the right whatever I thought was good
What
before
social
I
media
submit
says,
myself. And then my husband, or my boyfriend at the time, he was like, why are you waiting? Just submit. Like they can tell you if you need to lose weight, or they can tell you if you need to do this or do that. And I was like, you're right. And I was like, why am I waiting? And I just kept prolonging. Before he told me that, I just kept prolonging, and I was like, I can just do it in like maybe a month or two. And it just became like a year. And it became like, oh, maybe I can't do it. Like you just have this argument with yourself of like, I'm never ready to do it, so you just have to do it. And so I submitted myself, and then I got an email back and was like, we want to see you in person. And I was like, see, if I waited, then maybe they wouldn't have wanted me. And so I did it. And then I came down to LA, met with them in person, and they're like, I'm going to offer you a contract. And I was like, wow.
Hey, look, hold up. Hey, man. Turn up. So now, before we close this out, what do you see for yourself like going through the rest of the year? Do you have any aspirations? Do you have any dreams? Do you have any things about yourself that you want to work on? Like, send us away with your thoughts going out into the rest of the year. We're 4 months in now. So where are you at mentally?
Mentally, I think I have such big aspirations. I just started doing acting just about a year ago. And we're in class, and we're just beginning our journey with acting. And I feel like I have so much more that I can improve on, but I'm very hopeful that my skills will improve within this year. I have a goal, and I want to be on a show or have a role in a movie, and I'm going to make that happen. And even if I'm shy about it, or I'm like a little scared, a little terrified, but I'm going to do what I can do to further my goal.
And first of all, Kat, we putting it out there in the universe. You gonna get that role. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it. And I know another thing, and so I'm happy that you mentioned about just that process. So for a lot of you all that don't know, look, acting, man, don't get me wrong. If you know the director of a movie and you get put on the cast, amazing. But the reality is, it's a grind.
It's a grind.
Like, it's a grind. Like, and it's not gonna be easy. It's going to take time, but you definitely got to have that unfathomable belief in yourself that you can make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't give up, guys.
Don't. Please don't. So listen, Kat, thank you for coming through today. I'm happy I was able to hear your story and share your story. By the way, y'all probably going to see Kat again soon. You know what I mean? We was actually plotting today, like, more videos into the future. See, and this is what y'all to do. Remember we talk about community.
Keep me accountable, y'all.
Like, keep building with your community. 5 people who are like-minded like you, man, and then continue to grow together, y'all. So with that being said, Kat, I appreciate you again.
Thank you.
We are out of here.
Woo! Thanks for having me. Welcome to Kat's podcast featuring Brian. What would you like to say today?
Why you handing me the mic?